So what we currently have is the gap being filled. Now, guys, we knew at any point Bitcoin had to hold 22,400. And all of a sudden yesterday, we started to get a pullback within the market and we had Bitcoin lose the support. And as you could see, I've been highlighting for the last few days that we need to be aware of these gaps, because as soon as we lose a critical area, price seems to accelerate really quickly. And now what we're currently having with Bitcoin is the pullback. Now, yes, we've been waiting for Dominance to still make another leg down and possibly another altcoin run. But for now, we have to still remember that when it comes to the cheat sheet and coming to the understanding that we still were aware that this possible pullback was really going to be the indicator to get the altcoins moving. And we thought possibly that this little previous move over here was maybe that trigger, because we saw the dominance turn. But now what we are seeing is Bitcoin is clearly starting the pullback. Now, this is where we have to start being incredibly aware. I've been speaking about stop losses. I've been speaking about many of these things that shrink your altcoins. Now, I still think there's a little bit more time. And in the show, we're going to speak about this next support zone. And if Bitcoin's going to hold the support zone, we have huge news coming out next week with interest rates. And I think that can still force more downside within the market. But if we hold this certain area, there might be a nice little continuation, a little bit more of a push up. Maybe it's a time to exit a lot of our altcoins at that time and prep ourselves, for the real pullback. So I'm going to be speaking about the different gaps, the current pullback that we are having right now, what is happening with dominance, what are still the altcoins that are strong, and is this pullback healthy? Is it bad, or is this the top now? Are we going into depression? Are we going down? Is shit about to get wild? Guys, we've been an incredible running streak this year. And this is where we continue it. I'm about to have a serious heart-to-heart with you guys, because we're about to still make this the best year yet. 2023 is where we build. 2024 to 2025 is where we retire. We have a long journey ahead of us. Get used to this. The market doesn't just recover when it's come down 80%. Expect it to range the whole of this year. Expect 2 months of bullishness and bearish and these fast wicks down at different times. This is what you have to get used to. But I want to inspire you again that this is the point where you build the biggest portfolios, the point where you learn all of the knowledge, because this little leg was exciting, right? It was a good time. This was fun. But I want to remind you again. You are not prepping to retire on this current move. You are prepping for this move. You see this one? You see this one? That's what we work hard for. We are learning and we are getting into mindset for that special moment. I want to inspire you guys. This is a start to incredible journey. No more wasting time, James. Hit the button. Let's get into the show.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 sniper. He's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper. Click, click. Enter the sniper. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, hope you're having a great day. If you're brand new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you're part of the family, smash a like, smash a like, smash a like. Get the content out there. Do me a favor, guys, in the comments below. How has your last month been? I want to know this dump that happened yesterday. Were you stopped out? Did you take profits? Are you in a loss? Please pop in the comments. Give me your feedback of what has this market done to you in the last 2-3 weeks? Have you done well? Have you done bad? Update me, guys. I'm here to speak to you guys heart to heart today, and to continue this beautiful journey. Like, we did well. We've done incredibly well, and we continue to do really well throughout this. And I'm here to bring you the love every day, to keep those emotions strong. And that's been my promise, and something that I've really put out there this year, that, you know, I'm a different Sheldon. I'm a Sheldon that's learned from these last 2 years, and I'm combining the two. And I've been speaking about the risk, and I've been speaking about, you know, the market is getting slightly toppy, and we are getting to the point of where making money is just too easy. And they send these crazy days. I had a terrible day with trading yesterday, just on one trade, which was horrible. But ideally, for the whole month of Jan and, you know, the last 6 weeks of this year, it's been a big high. It's been still a massive success. How has it been? I just got out with minimal losses. Amazing. Tell me, guys. Tell me. You lost all of January's profits. Okay, not good. We'll chat. Bad entries. Amazing. So I'm going to help you guys with all of these. All the tokens that we have spoken about, I'm going through all of them. We're going to go through it. We're going to speak about everything. So a lot of guys, so many did good. And a lot of people went in too late and, you know, stopped out. Fantastic. I'm proud of you for being stopped out. Amazing. You know, I spoke about crunching up on those stop losses. Very important. So I'm going to come back to all of this. Keep sending all of these here. I want to know, I'm back eating dinner steaks. Well, that's not bad. What were you eating previously? Lobster. Amazing. So the losses as well. Amazing. Guys, this show is perfect for you then, because now it is time. I want to remind you again that when anything happens in a bear market, these things, you have this. And this is what builds up to the next one, right? So this is something that builds up. So you're going to have many of these pumps within this year. You're going to have many of these things coming. It is not the true bull run. It is not the crazy one that happens just yet. This is the one where you got to be ready. And ultimately, these are the ones that are just prepping you. And I know it sucks to enter late and maybe take some losses now, but you're doing it in this area over here. And I want you still to remember that this is great. This is a great time. We're going to fix it on the next one. For me, still, the altcoins did not get here, and there's still the possibility of the altcoins getting there. The only difference is now is we have to be slightly patient and wait to see where Bitcoin holds support. So let's speak about Bitcoin for a second. So Bitcoin did start to have a little rally up. Like I said yesterday, 23,400 was the area. And then we decided to start to lose that, right? And we came down to support. And yesterday we were holding support until all of a sudden we dropped it. And when we dropped it, we saw this acceleration. So one thing that I'm sure a lot of us are getting aware of now is these gaps. These gaps are incredibly strong. They show us where price increases really fast at different times. And what we have Bitcoin doing now is leading up to the next support. Now, the support is around 21,400. Okay. Now, are we confirmed that it's going to bounce there? Not just yet. I'll give you the clues on how we can know that we have bounced there or that's the temporary low. But what we are aware of is if Bitcoin doesn't hold that, we then have 20,400. And if we don't hold that, we then go all the way back to 19,000. So it's quite crazy to see that we are getting to another crucial support for Bitcoin. And if we don't hold that support, like this dump's just started. You know, this big pullback has just begun. And we have to remember that even though Bitcoin had this incredible run, even a push to 19,000 is still a healthy pullback. It's wild. And if you got trapped and you were buying in here, you know, I have good news for you. I think there will be a relief rally that can get you just to this resistance over here and then the leg down for things. So there will be time for you to possibly just, you know, get very minimal losses and to start emptying some of your bags when we get to those areas. But ideally, we can still make it here and it can still be a good thing. Now, what I'm seeing over here is I'm seeing the original trend that this high put in recently. And what it gave me was the main high and this high over here. And ultimately, what we're starting to see now is we're getting very far from the momentum line. So that's the current momentum. It has increased, but we know anytime we start to get far from this, at some point we will go and test that. But what it's giving me an indication is time. Okay, it's giving me a time indication of when we can expect to actually have a confirmation of the support or anything like that. Because when we have this little gap over here, it's giving us an indication that firstly, let me play the first scenario out. Bitcoin comes lower. I don't think this dump's done yet, guys. I think there's a little bit more downside first. Where it bounced, yes, maybe on the wicks over here, but ideally, you know, the 21,400, the early 21,000s is probably still likely to happen before we get a bounce within the market. But then after that, if this is support we hold, we're expecting something like this and then a possible push. Now, the argument is still that we had this pull down from the high, right? But we were still expecting dominance, which is still sitting in no man's land, and it's not pumping. It's not doing anything too crazy just yet. And it didn't bounce on a crazy support. A little bit of support over here, but ultimately this still makes sense. It still makes sense that we still have another strong leg down in dominance, which still gives us hope within the altcoins to still have that push. Now we need to remember, when Bitcoin came to the cheat sheets and understanding, the cheat sheet shows that this high is slightly lower than the previous one. And if we have a look here, slightly lower, right? But then what you see a secondary thing on the cheat sheet was this little pullback here. This pullback that comes and tests support. Then we have one more push, lower high in Bitcoin. And then in that time is the altcoin catch up. And if you have a look, we can still see it, that this could still possibly be the slight play into depression, right? Just basic. Now, remember what I said about cheat sheets. I don't think the patterns show exactly the same, but I think the emotions are spot on. I think it makes sense of how it makes the market feel at these points. Right now, everyone is sitting saying, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And they're probably going to be slightly right when it comes to that. But when it gets here, they're going to say Bitcoin's going to 30K. When Bitcoin starts to get to those highs, everyone's euphoric, and they're probably going to be scared to buy here and want to buy here. And that's where the ultimate trap can play out after that. So it makes a lot of sense that this is still a possible play, because if we look again at this one, total 3, total 3 still does not have that push just yet. So this pullback, yes, it is one that's starting to show that the market's losing momentum to the upside. It's losing bullish momentum and things like that. But it's also giving us understanding that maybe there's one more altcoin push up, which still makes sense. I still think that when we have a total 3, total 2, and total 1 all matching up on the cheat sheet at these areas is when I think the real depression starts. And for me, we just got Chainlink going yesterday. We just got some of the major alts moving. And for me, they never had that rally just yet. So there's still that possibility. But we have time for that decision now. And the reason why I'm saying we have time is dominance is showing to still go up for another few days and probably this weekend. And to be honest, it's probably going to happen all the way until the interest rates, where we're going to actually have Bitcoin either continue down, go down to the early 21s, maybe even slightly lower, and that dominance make its way up. Until we have that peak and we see where the market goes from that, then possibly I see the dominance. So it's just showing that the dominance right now is on a little bit of a cool-off stage. It is going a little bit up. So don't expect crazy movements from altcoins just yet. But it's still boiling up that this definitely made a lower low. And there can still be another strong leg up. So that's a really good thing to understand. Now, if we go back to Bitcoin, and what I want to explain on Bitcoin here is this play over here. Is what it's showing here is there is time. There is time. Because we are far away from trend now, it's going to take a few days. And if you have a look here, it's basically showing us within the next 7 days or so is when we would actually be closer to this trend line. Makes sense now. So it makes sense that, yes, we are having this pullback, but ideally we're going to have these two plays. A little bit lower down here, sideways for a while. Don't expect too much altcoin pops just yet until we're outside of here. Does Bitcoin go and make that lower high and then we go into depression? This would still be the altcoin leg for me, where we still have a strong rampage altcoin push. Okay. And what I like about this current dump that we had now was not the insane push up in dominance. That was good, guys. It was good that we never got this crazy, yes, a little bit up in dominance, but not this insane one. And that for me would be like a really strong reversal sign if we do have that strong dominance push to the upside. Okay, so right now, dominance is still looking like it's just slowly up and still that. So we're not in crazy danger just yet. We do have the second option. And the second option is Bitcoin comes down here to the early 20,000s. Then has that slow little push and then possibly that little push up to the upside. Okay, now let me play the safety sort of way now. If you are too much in the market right now, okay, and you never got out of the ones that pumped, and you never made, you never banked your profits or these sort of things, there is a possibility that in this time over here, that Bitcoin does bounce here in the areas of where we are now, early 21,000s, and we do go up to go test the area that we finally lost. So remember, this area we held for many days. We held many days 22,400, but now it's resistance. Now what it means is bears are going to try to protect that. So every time price goes up there, they're going to try offload. And I would suggest that if you have too much weighted bags, if Bitcoin does decide to make its way up there, to offload your weighted bags. I've been speaking about taking profits, and moving them to altcoins that are still nice and early. And I still believe there are a few, and I still think that those will be the ones that will catch up, and there's still money to be made on those. But on this push up here, I would shrink the amount of tokens that I have quite a bit, and I'll start to de-risk, because this is still showing something like that down here, and we don't know if we are going to break this trend. If we don't break this trend, Bitcoin can come down to these levels. It can come even down into these levels, and maybe it even goes down and makes a lower low. So there is going to be a little bit of an opportunity to offload, and that will be the bounce of the next support. Let's go back here. The bounce on the support, and I do think price does go back to 22,300, 22,400, and that would be your offload area, the place where you protect yourself and things like that. Now, let's jump into actually a few of the altcoins, and I want to explain to you ETH last trend. Okay, last trend. So what you're waiting for from ETH right now is it does have this support over here, and it's got one more support here. Okay, and what we're looking at here is push. I still see a little bit more downside from ETH. From here, if we can push here, and then there. Problem with ETH right now is Bitcoin, you could see the very clear downtrend. ETH, we don't have that, which means there's a temporary high still coming, a lower high. And that will give me the trend of the momentum. But right now, as it stands, I am seeing possibly ETH bouncing on the 1.5, going back up nearly to the 1.6. And for me, it's offload. It is time to protect any money that you can't sit and wait to make gains on for the next 6 months. I would be de-risking out of ETH at this area over here. So there's a chance, guys, and you need to take this seriously, because I don't want to hear it that if a price goes up here and Bitcoin goes back to 19K in the next 2 weeks because things go really bad with stock market, Dixie pumps through the roof, that you never got out and you never protected yourself. It is time now to man up. And I'm being very, very serious now. This is a time for heart to heart. I'm going to put my sweat and tears into this show for the rest of the year for us, but you need to listen to me. If you don't know how to put a stop loss, you go watch my stop loss videos. You go do my sniper school. Guys, it's $250 that you use. You're trading anyway with money. You go do my sniper school and you do this stuff. So when I tell you to protect yourself, you know how to protect yourself. We need to work as a team here. I need you I understand making the money and I understand these sort of things, but I need you to work with me on this journey. Learn this year. Next year, you have the chance to retire. It's incredible when it happens, guys. I just did it. It's incredible. So be part of that journey, but play your part. Play your part in this. And I want to let you know again, you have time. This is going to happen the whole year. So be with me on it. I'm proud of everyone that has been doing it. I've been seeing a huge increase of people really pay attention to this. But I need you to play your part. I told you guys yesterday, put stop losses. And I see people didn't put stop losses. Guys, I don't sit at your computer and I can't push the button for you. Otherwise, I would put a stop loss for you. You need to play your part. Why did you not put a stop loss yesterday? You know, like, let's work this. So this is for me to heart to say that this was just a tiny leg. We're prepping for the big ones. But be with me on this journey and let's work together. Okay. Now, that's my ETH play. Let's look at Solana. Solana, same thing. So the problem with Solana, definitely starting its downform, and there's no support here right now. The next support for Solana is 15%. So there might be an offload if you're holding Solana, where it comes up, that support we just held, 22, boom. Okay, Solana, that's the only areas that I'm looking at buying it for now until this trend line over here is broken. So expect another, at any point, another push from Solana. It's another 25 to 30% down from where it is right now. I'm going to be realistic of how brutal this thing can get if you don't protect yourself. DOT was looking amazing. What's nice about DOT is it's not so far from where it was looking amazing. DOT right now is on a temporary support, but on this next little push up, it's basically at the areas of where we said it was looking amazing, and you can protect yourself where you were getting into DOT. You can start de-risking right now, de-risk until we have clear direction. So you're going to have opportunity to take a very minimal loss when it comes to this, if not slight profits on DOT, because DOT, next leg down, 25%. Let's go to Thorchain. Looking amazing. Thorchain still holding trend right now. The problem is now Bitcoin, we don't know if it's going to hold support, and it hasn't broke that trend line. If Bitcoin decides to do this over the next few days, If it does decide to bounce and it breaks this trend, no problem. We'll get back into THORChain on the same support where it is right now. It's going nowhere. These coins are going nowhere. These areas are going nowhere. We get straight back in. No problem. We get in, we put stop losses, and we run. For now, prep for the worst. Because if Bitcoin loses this, it's going to make its way down to lower areas. So here, there might be a slight push up here to the areas of where we were saying it was looking amazing. And yes, they still look amazing. Bitcoin, though. Bitcoin is the one I'm worrying about. I would de-risk at these areas, if not put a stop loss under this previous low. Because why? Where's the next support? The next support's here. Percentage-wise, from where we are right now, 15 to 20% down. Amazing buys are coming. Guys, when these things are back down another 30, 40%, we have the opportunity to do this all again. All of this we just made now, we have the opportunity to do it again if it decides to go back to those areas. That's what's beautiful about this year, is it's ranging. We can just do the same thing, rinse and repeat 3-4 times this year, and we can kill it. But when it comes down to time to protect, you protect. So this next push up here, protect or stop loss under the previous low, because there is the opportunity. If we can get it here, it means even more gains for the next one. MATIC, looking extremely strong, looking strong. And that might be one of the exceptions because it did break the high, that maybe MATIC does run. It does look incredibly strong. Same thing. Under yesterday here, I'd put a stop loss right now. I'd even start de-risking in this area possibility. Now, there is a possibility, if you want to hold this for the next 2 years, there is another run that maybe it makes it to 1.7. But for me, Bitcoin and where it is right now, if MATIC had to turn bearish and it had to come down, I'm looking at come down 20 to 25%. So MATIC's maybe an exception or maybe holding a little bit more, which is fine, but be aware. THETA, incredible yesterday. I was killing it yesterday. I was printing yesterday. And now, all of a sudden, we look at it now, very much on breaking trend. So there might be a small push of THETA. I don't think it gets much higher than 1.06, 1.8. I would de-risk because THETA, there's better entries. I only care about the next entries. The next entry is what makes me the real money. And there's a possibility it goes back down to 95 cents. And there's another possibility that it comes back down to 85 cents. Those for me on the next one, killer gains, lots of gains, and I'm focused on that. But right now, it is starting to. That's a big reversal candle in the daily. It was looking incredibly strong, but Bitcoin's king. When Bitcoin turns, everything that looked strong looked weak. Fantom, I told you guys, profits. But we are getting to areas of where we're going to be able to have another Fantom run. Amazing. You missed the first one, right? Cool. So let's allow this to come down. Let's allow it to settle. And when it breaks, we ride Fantom again and we make the money again. It's going to teach you not to FOMO into the market when they've already done crazy gains. And it's going to teach you that we can do it and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. So I got two supports for Fantom. The one is this area here around 40 cents. And then there's another one around 32 cents. Until we break this trend, we don't know which one it is. But if we come down here and we break, amazing. We can enter, stop losses low, and we can make another killer 50% on Fantom. Or the real bad one plays out. And we come here. And then we break. And then instead of making 50%, we can make 100%. That's the difference. Lower entries now will be more gains for the next push. So be prepped. Fantom, we missed it. It's still strong as hell, and it's still something that we can get. One that looked good was VET. VET bounced beautifully. So VET, I'd probably just put a stop loss under the daily low yesterday. VET looks good. But there is a possibility, if Bitcoin goes to lower areas, it's coming down another 20%. I still see this as the next push. If it comes down to 20%, I make 70% on the next gains. If it bounces from here, I make 50% on the next gains. DYDX, another example. Told you guys, take profits, take profits, take profits. It's straight back in again. Didn't hold the support over here, take straight back in, and probably expect DYDX at some point coming back down to these areas. I'm teaching you about FOMO, and I'm teaching you about FOMO in a gentle market right now. You guys don't even understand a bull run. Many did see them, but a bull run gets wild, gets crazy. It doesn't stop. It goes absolutely insane, and this is nothing. So this one is a good thing, but look how they come all the way back down, guys. It's done it before, all the way back down. Everything that it made in that time, it came all the way back down. So DYDX, still strong as hell. Fundamentals still strong. Let's get it at 1.7, and let's do it again. Next one, Chainlink was looking so good, so good. Now under trend line, under support. So for me, I still think Chainlink has a little push up to around about the 7.1, 7.2 if Bitcoin retests. And I'll just de-risk for now, because what it's showing with Chainlink is I still think it's going to be a ripper, guys. I think we're going to make a lot of money on Chainlink. But it does look like it's going to come back down if Bitcoin decides to have the stronger pullback, early $6, if not the 5.9. And for me, I'm still expecting a $10 to $11 Chainlink. But for me, the better entries and the more gains will be at this one. So I would slightly de-risk on any little push up on Chainlink for now until we have confirmation that Bitcoin's broke that trend. Because right now it's showing that we're going to get a better entry. This is more gains, guys. If you messed up on the last trade, focus on the next one. Focus on how you can get the best entry for the next gains on the next one. Stay focused, guys. Don't lose steam here. This is where you make the money. AVAX on small support over here, but same thing. AVAX going up to the $19 to $20. That's how it's printed for now. I don't have a clear trend line on AVAX, and I'm waiting for that high to give me that clear trend. More downside. Guys, AVAX went from $10 all the way to $22 at 100%, right? Now, all of a sudden, we can have the opportunity of getting it back at $13 and do it again. Do it again, because don't be surprised to see this year that the market does this. The whole year. The whole year. And if you're going to stick to bull run mind and stuff like that, you're not going to get it. I'm going to teach you again. We're going to have another altcoin run in the next 2-3 weeks. We're going to make more money again. I'm telling you, we're going to make more money again. Take profits when you make the money, because we're here for a while, and get consistent. Render, another example. I said $2, get out. If you listened, you'd be able to buy another 35% more render. But do you see how nothing lasts? Render's probably going to come all the way back down. Expect maybe a small bounce. And if it goes anywhere near 1.7, 1.8 is offload. But expect render all the way back down at $1. And then we can do it all again. Exactly the same thing. But expect, again, from where we are now, another 36% down. This is still healthy. This will be healthy buys. But this is how realistically the retracement can actually get. Look at COTI. Same thing. COTI is already on its way down. We have a trend there. There's still time until we know if it's a breakout. COTI, down another 20%. I'll go through all of them. PBX. These ones for me, dollar cost, these are 2-year holds, guys. This is good. This is strong. These are going to make us a lot of money over the next 2 years. All the smaller caps. Just dollar cost, and be patient with them. If they do 100, 200, 300% pumps, take some profits. Amazing. But all of these. Scallop, same thing. Dollar cost. Near Protocol was looking amazing. Now looking absolutely crap. Dropping support trend at the moment. And what it's looking at doing here is it's looking at coming back down to around the 1.7. It's 2.2 right now. So I'm expecting at any point on support nearby, a push up from near to get it around 2.4. Not too far from where we were entering it. Very small loss. And from that, another strong leg down. We're trading it as it is right now, as what the market is giving us. Mana looks amazing. It's just Bitcoin. So if Mana stays here and Bitcoin breaks that trend, we're going to get badass entries on Decentraland that still can give us 100% gains. Same thing. So I'll go through all of them. Mutable X, these are just examples of why you should take profits on all of them. Look at them. They reject hard at some point. ALGO, still holding 200 days, still looking good. There is a possibility of coming down to the early 20s. Be aware of that. So any push up back to the 26s, 27s, I would de-risk slightly. There's going to possibly be a better entry. But my targets still remain the same of 35 to 40. I still think we get the strong trades from ALGO. ALGO for me, layer ones. Whenever this dump's done, may it be 20,000 for Bitcoin, maybe 21,000. I still see a layer one push. I'm going to get us badass entries again. We're going to get them again, guys. Right now, de-risk. De-risk on any little push-ups until we know when the breakout is happening. Look at the graph. Told you guys, take profits. Realistically on the graph, it's going to probably come back from where it started. It's coming back to the 10 cents. And from that, we'll have it again. But any push-up from the graph now, which would probably take it back to the areas of around 1.7, 1.8 sort of areas. Any push-ups now, just de-risk slightly. Right now, the chart shows we're going to get better entries. For now, when Bitcoin breaks that trend, we will see all the trend breaks and we'll know exactly when to get back in. For now, prep for the lower entries. Same with Cosmos. On support right now looks amazing, which means if it goes up a little bit here, you're basically buying or getting out where you were getting in or things like that. And it is showing a possibility down to $10. I'll go through these pretty quickly. 𝗏𝗏. All I see on 𝗏𝗏 right now, loss of trend. Okay, so expect push here at any point around 11 to 11.30. And from that, lower targets down to probably between 8 and 9. Better entries. Better entries. The question is I ask you now, Bitcoin goes to 100K. Do you want an entry for Bitcoin at 19,000 or do you want an entry at 25K? What's going to make you more money in the longer run? The better entry, right? So any of these, you're not getting out because you don't believe in it. You don't think the pump's going to happen. Bullshit. We're just getting a better entry. That's the main thing. So ZIL also, any small push up, expect another 4 or 5% up. And at any point, it can come down to the lower entries, which is around about 25% lower than where it is right now. On many of them, Engine, Injective, why you take profits? Injective is probably coming all the way back down to here, which is expecting another 30-40%. And those are the areas. Illuvium did well. It's still going to do well, but it does probably come back down to the early 60s. Sushi, same thing. Another. So work on a lot of them. 20, Lux protocol looking good for small dollar costing, possibly, but it can come back down to around the 18. So another, all these altcoins are showing another 10-20% down lower than where they are now. And remember, I want to excite you though. I'm not being bearish. I'm getting you better entries. But if you look here, we're gonna get another dominance collapse. And when we get that, there's still gonna be money to make. This is still gonna be it, guys. We're still gonna get it, but we're gonna make sure we're in the right ones, and we're gonna crush it. So for now, expect a little bit more downside in Bitcoin, probably another 5-10% down in altcoins. Then expect a little bounce. That bounce will be for you to de-risk, and then interest rates goes probably bad next week. We have Dixie. Let's actually look at that quickly. Because Dixie is probably going up, right? Yeah, it is. And it is possibly looking at breaking back into trend. We're probably going to have a strong Dixie. Probably going to have a stock market. Oof, look at that. Broken in. Stock market, not good. Not good, not good, not good. So, guys, we got this. This is a whole year. Prep yourself. Do sniper school. Watch all the videos. Learn. And let's kill it. So be patient right now. Any bounce, de-risk, and let's get better entries. Once we have the news next week, we know where the market's moving. We'll see if any trends break, and we trade it again. You've missed out on nothing. If you got shitty entries this time, make sure in 3 weeks' time when we have another pump, you don't make that same mistake. Fix it this year. Iron it all out. Become really good at this game so that next year we can all retire. Have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend. I'm going to get some rest. You get some rest. Take a breather. No leverage. Shut off leverage completely right now. It is not worth it. Market's wild. And have a fantastic weekend. Love you all. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you all on Monday. Much love.